6 a.m. at Legion, brought to you by Jocko Go. Hashtag sponsor me. Hashtag spread some cheese on this broke ass cracker. Hashtag please.
Help me, I'm poor.
So this week we're kind of looking at an accessory position to the laser guard, but there's some new faces here who weren't here last week, so we're gonna review the laser guard but also throw in some new things as well. So again, kind of starting in a neutral position like De La Riva, the way we can get to the laser guard, especially if my partner is grabbing my collar, is I'm just going to use a 2-on-1 grip to break this collar grip. Then I'm going to circle my partner's hand to the outside of my wrist, so that now I can kind of use my forearm to block her from grabbing my collar again. And then now my free hand is grabbing on the seam of the gi right behind the elbow, so that way if she tries to tuck her knee to her elbow with my hand here, I'll always be able to separate it. And then now as I separate the elbow from the knee, my De La Riva hook goes to the hip, and now I'm going to pull my arms in nice and tight, start stretching my partner out. My other foot's going to go to the shoulder, and then I'm going to hip escape to my side, just like this. Remember, with the laser guard, it's a very powerful position, but all of our controls are on one side of the body here mostly, so I don't want to be square, because as soon as my partner pummels their hand in to clear this foot, now there's nothing stopping them from just running to the side here. So we're here like this, foot on the shoulder or the bicep, always trying to track this arm. Wherever she moves it, I'm just trying to keep the bottom of my foot facing her arm. As she weaves her hand in, I want to be weaving my foot in here. I can't concede this battle of allowing her to control my foot, because again, this is going to start to make everything fall apart. And then in addition, and again, I cannot allow her to grab my collar. So whatever I'm doing in the laser guard, the second my partner grabs my collar, I stop what I'm doing, break that grip, re-pummel, and then now we're back here. And again, I'm pulling my partner forward, but I'm also kind of pushing her hand towards her face. If I just pull, then it's so easy for her to kind of grab my collar, then I have to break it again. So we're here like this, pulling at the elbow, extending at the hip, but keeping a slight bend in my knee, and then shoving my partner's hand towards their face. And then always kind of tucking my elbow, using my forearm to block her from grabbing me. And then again, from a defensive perspective, the main thing we're going to be looking to try to do as my partner clears this leg and starts to walk to the side is we're going to pull our partner's hand down to the mat and sit up here. And then my partner is going to circle to face me. I'm going to circle to face her, and then we pull again. So the first thing we're going to do today is just review this kind of maintenance of the position. My partner, usually the main way people try to pass is by pummeling their hand to the inside, pushing that foot straight down and like running to the side here, because if I just stay here and do nothing, then she can just pass my guard. So as that happens, she pummels her hand in, starts pushing my foot down. I need to pull her hand across so that now her hand is blocking her from connecting chest to chest with me. And then now I use my free leg to help me sit up. And then normally at this point, the person is going to circle towards you. I circle towards them. And then we replace here like this. And again, I'm going to be looking to do different offensive things. But as soon as I feel my partner start to win this battle here, I need to be pulling the hand across and sitting up so I don't get pinned. And yeah, and then we can constantly use this to kind of reset the position. Any questions about this so far? And then one more thing to kind of help with that. It's not always available, but you want to try to get the timing down of, especially sometimes your partner just pushes the foot straight down. Sometimes they push it down and kind of towards their legs like they want to step over. If that happens, I want to try to time it. So as my partner is pushing my foot down, when the bottom of my foot meets the inside of their thigh, I'm going to kick out to help me off balance my partner. And then same thing from here. But they circle, I recover. And again, that's kind of a nice to have. You don't always get it. The main thing is just pulling the arm to the mat across the body, sitting up facing, but if you can, time that, kick out the leg as well. It'll make the off balance a little bit more powerful. Make sense? Any questions on this? Or does anyone need to see it again? Do you need to see it? Can I borrow your chat? So again, one last time. We're here starting in De La Riva just to get the controls. Chances are my partner's going to be grabbing something with his hand, my pants, my collar, whatever it is. I'm just gonna grab. If it's my collar, then I go ahead. I go 2-on-1, break, pummel, grab behind the elbow, foot to the hip, extend, hip escape, foot to the shoulder. And now my partner's gonna pummel his hand in. He's gonna start running to the side. I'm just pulling his hand down, sitting up. He's gonna face me as I face him, and then that just lets me reset the position again. Make sense? Try it on 3. 1, 2, 3.
I get the shoulder foot into getting stuffed. Do you transition to like a De La Riva or some other guard from there?
Then I go shallow lasso on the shoulder with the foot that's on the hip. Use that to try to extend them away, and then I use that extension to try to pull my foot out and go back to the shoulder. Yep. Great question. We'll address that question in the next one. Top person, keep the bottom person honest. If you can, try to grab their collar a little bit, grab something. Nice, exactly. Please call me over if you have any questions or need any help.
Yep.
Yes. Exactly. Very good. Yeah, so exactly. When we're starting in the position, this is how we want to be on this hip. The top person is usually going to try to disassemble it by running the other side. And then that's when we start pulling the hand across.
So run
yes,
right.
Exactly.
And then
Here.
at that point, do you...
Yes, pull the hand down to the mat, and then, yes, exactly. Sit up, and then square back up. Looking good. Yep. This guy gets it. Yes.
So we're here. So every time I've been doing this, it's like it's not really going anywhere. So I'm like kicking a little bit. Does that help? Or?
Even if you can't pull the hand all the way down to the mat, like chances are if you start pulling and then they start pulling away, then that still just gives you the space to kind of sit back up and square up. So if at any point you start doing that, you feel the person pull away from you, then you can use that opportunity as well to square up. But I would say as far as kind of helping you pull it down, instead of maybe keeping the foot on the hip, what I would do is, if we're here, for example, I would like bring it to the outside so that I can swing up. So when I'm here, he starts walking, yeah, like bringing my leg to the outside, swinging up so I can sit up, and then now I can like put my body weight on this so it's not me like just pulling with my arms. It's like me pulling with my arms to a certain extent until I can get my weight up and over, and then I can drive it the rest of the way. No problem. Another great question. Bunch of smart cookies in this class. Any questions about that? So if I could borrow my lovely assistant here, I'll address a few things. One, someone asked about what to do if they do manage, rather than strictly like running around to the side. Sometimes people will just push the foot straight down and step over it, like going to a headquarters position. So when my partner does this, I need to think about when I'm in the guard, I always need to have like frames against my partner's shoulder line or their hip line, preferably both, but shoulders and hips are like where the pressure is going to come from. So at this point, when my partner has stepped over my foot and squared up with me, at this point I have no frame. So the frame that I did have, maybe, especially maybe because sometimes you won't always have this foot in the hip. If my partner is tucking their elbow to their knee and maybe they use their elbow to kind of peel my foot off the hip, the next place this is going to go is like a De La Riva hook. So if I'm in this situation and then my partner stuffs the foot between the legs, now I don't really have any frames. So I need to replace my frame. And while I'm in this headquarters position, my foot that was the De La Riva hook is going to go as like a shallow lasso on my partner's shoulder, just long enough so that I can kind of push them away, make them posture a little bit, tuck my knee to my chest, kick my foot forward, and now I can go back to either De La Riva or foot on the hip. So these are the three main places I'm looking to go. Primarily foot on the hip so that I can force my partner to hinge and expose the triangle situation that we looked at last week. If this space is not available, then I'm going De La Riva hook. And finally, if my partner stuffs the foot between the legs, then I'm going foot in the shoulder just to try to push them away, get my foot out, and then I'm going back. So that was one thing that someone asked about. And then another thing I saw, people were struggling with getting their hand all the way down to the mat. So as my partner pummels the foot and run, I'm like pulling with my hands, but I'm also bringing this leg to the outside to kick and sit up. So I can kind of use that momentum to get an extra pull on this grip. And then also once I get my body weight over her hand, I'm kind of locking out my elbow and dropping that on there. Because ideally I would like to keep her here if I can so that I can come up and take the back and things like that. But bringing that leg to the outside to swing and pull will give you a little bit more momentum. And so now if you're getting into this battle where the person is constantly trying to pummel their foot in, you're constantly repummeling it, you're constantly getting squared up, and you know eventually you feel like you're gonna lose this battle, then we can kind of do that foot to the inside of the leg and arm drag off balance preemptively. So it's great as like a recovery movement if my partner is running to the side, but we can also do it preemptively if you know that they're about to do that. So when I'm here and we're constantly doing this battle and I feel like it's not going in my favor, then on one of the pummels, instead of going back to the shoulder, I'm just gonna go to the inside of the leg, square up, kick and pull, and do that same thing. Kind of swinging my leg to the outside, sitting up, pulling my partner's hand to the mat like this. And we looked at some different options we could do from here, but now we're gonna look at some slightly different ones. Similar, but slightly different. So this time, instead of jumping up to take my partner's back like we did before, I'm gonna stay down on my elbow, still kind of sagging my weight on these grips, and then I'm just gonna insert a shin to shin. I'm gonna internally rotate my knee and extend my leg to drop my partner's hips. Now I can sit up, grab the hip. I'm still keeping the sleeve grip, and then I can scoot backwards to take the back, which is a slightly less athletic version than what I showed last week. Usually what I end up doing from here is as my partner pummels, they insert the foot, I kick and pull, I get up, and then I try to chase the back like so. But maybe the person you're going against is really strong, or maybe they're really fast, or you don't feel like you just can't get up quick enough to get behind them. Then instead, everything is the same. Now all we're doing is as we kick and pull, hip escape, dragging all my weight on this hand, insert the shin to shin, internally rotate my knee, extend the leg out, then I grab the hip and pull my partner down. Now obviously this has to be done a little quickly. We can't stay down here forever, but then remember also, in this kind of position, if your partner starts to posture up before you're able to get anything going, we can just follow that and look to wrestle up instead. But one more time on this back take. We're here like this, we're in laser guard. I'm constantly pummeling, she's pummeling, we're doing this over and over. I feel like I'm losing the battle. So again, on one of my pummels, instead of going back to the shoulder, I go back to the inside of the knee, square up with my partner, kick and pull, hip escape, insert shin to shin, internally rotate the knee, extend the leg to drop my partner's hips, then I sit up, cup the hip, and now I can just scoot backwards, insert my hook. And the whole time I was kind of controlling this sleeve and then this hip, so she can't really rotate either way. Now I can connect my seatbelt, fall to the side, hip in, insert my second hook. Any questions about this technique? So without a person, the motion is like, I'm here, I'm pummeling, I kick and pull, I hip escape, and then I'm inserting the shin to shin, and I'm doing this, boom. And then that'll drop my partner's hips so I can sit up, grab it, and then rather than this time, you jumping up trying to chase them, you're just pulling them back to you. Make sense? Any questions about this? Or does anyone want to see it again? You need to see it? Can I borrow your chat? So, everything is exactly the same as what we've done so far. The only difference is now when we get to this part here, a hip escape if you need to insert this. And again, I kind of want to get my knee to the side of my partner's knee so that I can internally rotate and extend. Then I sit up to hug the hip, try to connect my chest to the back, then pull him backwards and get my seatbelt. All right, try it on 3. 1, 2, 3.
The side, and I've been trying to because I always find that I'm sitting parallel. But when I try to get on my hip, is this enough? Should I try to line up, get on my shoulder and my hip to make sure I'm there? Or
no, you don't have to be like all the way on your side, like this way. Yeah, you don't have to be like this. You just want to be like turn like this rather than being here.
So let's do this here, just on the side.
Yeah.
This way's better.
Right, so this is enough. Like as long as you have good tension, like your elbows are tucked tight to your body, like if he runs this way, you should be able to just maintain the connection and stay in front of him. And then same thing, even if he does try to run this way, if you have good tension, you should just be able to like hip escape and follow him pretty easily.
Boom.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Just keep going.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. Kick and pull, and then now, yes. Yes, exactly. Perfect. Go check in on this crowd over here. Yeah, this is good. And then, yeah, we want the inside of our knee to kind of be next to the outside of their knee. Now, yes, exactly. Oh, she got it. Uh-oh. Red alert. Yeah, that's yeah, boom, kick and pull, hip escape if you need to. Exactly. How's it going over here?
Good.
Nice. This guy gets it. So now we're going to do some positional sparring, a little bit of king of the hill, where bottom person will start with the position that we worked today. Their goal is to sweep or submit. Top person's goal will be to try to disassemble, break the position, and pass. So we'll have a few people out in the middle playing guard. We're just going to start in this position. We'll start with a De La Riva hook with the laser guard upper body control here like this. My goal as a bottom person, sweep or submit. If I sweep, I got to hold it for 3 seconds. Top person, they must pass, hold it for 3 seconds, or for today as well, if she goes to pass my guard, and then if I turtle and stay here for 3 seconds, we'll count that as a win for the top person as well. So if you need the turtle to recover your guard, you can, but you have to like recover right away. If they force you to stay in the turtle, that counts as a win for them. Whoever wins keeps the spot out in the middle. If you win 3 times in a row, give up your spot to the person you just beat. Make sense? Any questions? Any volunteers of people who want to play guard? Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's get 2 more. Go ahead, Gil. Q. And yeah, we'll go ahead and start with that. Uh-oh. Go ahead and fill in on the bell. Thank you all for coming. We'll be looking at more laser guard stuff this week and kind of just cross sleeve guard supplementary stuff as well. And yeah, have my laser guard instructional coming out soon, so be on the lookout for that. Other than that, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.